This album is so good. Oh, you guys. Bro. Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere? Way too good for... Just such a good album. It like it encompasses like this early 2000s like vibes so well. Such a good album. All right, we're back. Stock market back to reality. Bro, this guy this guy could be a meme. It's like Trump pulls back tariffs. Trump announces tariffs. Like shit. No, it's more so market is back to reality. They're like, well, there's actually still tariffs, even though he paused them for 90 days. Our largest, one of our largest trading partners, still the highest. Yeah. It's literally just almost undid it. It's crazy, actually. It is straight up. It's gone like halfway back down. Like it's crazy. I guess it's to be expected. This like whipsaw type, It's shot up, so people, because people bought. Then once it's high, people sold it. People just playing the market. Like who's like going up right now though? Gold. It's like gold. Mines, gold. Mining. Gold, literally all gold. Holy shit. Gold, mining. Precious metals, gold. Holy shit, bro. Literally gold. But like they're all like very cheap. Except this guy. This guy. PE ratios are all like fine. I mean, these are kind of high. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess, market's back to reality. EU declines to retaliate. Typical EU. No offense. Yeah, and then this one. It's like, oh, actually, it's 145%, not 125. It's like, thanks. Tariffs imposed on China by President Trump in second term add up to 145%. White House said on Thursday, not 125. $125% tariff that Trump announced on Wednesday afternoon referred to only reciprocal tariff levels. Did not take into account the 20% tariffs Trump had previously levied on China for a drone fentanyl trade. Dang. What's this? What? Okay. Spigot of money says big tech sticks to AI spending, plans to fight spirits. Spigot of money flowing into artificial intelligence is still very much on, despite the uncertainty around tariffs and the economy. Yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit with Microsoft yesterday. Even though semiconductors are exempt, a lot of the material, like a lot of the equipment, other data center equipment comes from China. Even though I don't know, to me it seems like I want to see like the pie graph of like how much that actually is compared to the chips, because I still feel like it's dwarfs in comparison to the actual like computer servers that go into the data center. But I guess it's like it's more expensive, I guess, regardless. So yeah, and we're gonna look at the Andy Jassy put out his annual shareholder letter. Amazon CEO, we'll look at this real quick, but in his annual shareholder letter Thursday, Amazon chief executive Andy Jassy said he believed AI was once-in-a-lifetime reinvention of everything we know, and that customers, shareholders, and the business will be served by our investing aggressively now. Yeah. Held a keynote speech at a company conference from Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google parent Alphabet, on Wednesday, which he reiterated a plan to spend about $75 billion on AI this fiscal year. And Microsoft is spending $80 billion on data center buildouts, but not necessarily just AI. This is unsurprising. Tariffs have muddied the future of global economy and remains a wildcard despite President Trump's temporarily backing down Wednesday. Tech companies could gain little now by declaring an intention to pare back. Only a significant economic slowdown caused by trade disruptions would truly force them to reconsider. In that kind of environment, they would have to take a hard look at all their spending in AI in one area. The outliers have largely failed. Yeah. Interesting. What is this one now? This was yesterday. Higher prices, slower consumer spending, threaten big tech pockets. Yeah. And as we kind of said yesterday, it's like, since big tech is so intertwined with just the economy in general, even though they may not be directly affected by some economic slumps like tariffs, their customers do, which in turn does affect them in an like indirect way. Dang. All right, I might look at this later, but not right now. Okay, let's just jump into it. I forgot what what did I put in my title? OpenAI Countersues Elon Musk, yeah. Oh yeah, and the Meta China. Yeah, let's just take a look at this and then we'll jump into those two. Yeah, Amazon CEO says generative AI will reinvent every customer experience. So AWS is big, and AI bet has been Anthropic. They have given them a lot of money, and they're also using their compute. They're using AWS, whether good or bad. Considering that Claude, Anthropic has had a lot of compute challenges, it makes me think that, they just don't have enough, especially if people are willing to pay for it. They just yesterday announced the new higher usage plan, but I do wonder how much of that is just they couldn't get compute that they needed, or they were not willing to spend the money, which is also could be very likely. But anyway, so with AWS here, big beneficiary of the AI space, and hopefully probably leading after they can't do what Microsoft is doing with just using OpenAI and then reselling their models, so they actually kind of have to compete. They do have their Nova models, which we've looked at, but they're more enterprisey, I guess. They're not going for the consumer market because that's just not really them. We'll likely see it integrated into their consumer products like Amazon, but I doubt that they're gonna, in like Alexa's probably gonna be their main. I don't think we actually covered that, but they're kind of turning that into their consumer brand. But mainly their moneymaker is through businesses. Amazon chief executive Andy Jassy said generative artificial intelligence is going to reinvent virtually every customer experience and enable new ones. E-commerce has been Silicon Valley, I don't know, they have like a weird relationship with e-commerce, but I feel like people don't think it's like a solved problem, and so AI could help people like find better products that they need, and so I think there's probably some hope that Amazon could cash in on that. We saw Perplexity launched their shopping solution. I used that like the research, but like I don't know, it's kind of just like still whatever. It's like not the super best, but also like there's just bias. I don't know. For the second year in a row, Jassy used his annual letter to shareholders to tout Amazon's vision for how generative AI will be critical to the company's next phase of growth. He also expressed Amazon's goal of operating like the world's largest startup, which takes risk with less red tape to solve real customer problems. I wonder what an example of this is. I just can't think of any. More than 1,000 generative AI applications are currently being built across the company that will change customer experience around shopping, coding, personal assistance, streaming video and music, advertising, healthcare, reading, home devices, and more. I wonder what they're actually using though. I wonder what the tech is. Like, are they actually using their Nova AI shit? AI models, AI shit. That's cool. Yeah, I guess Amazon has so many random ass brands. Like, I guess Amazon Shop, Amazon Prime, AWS for coding, Alexa personal assistants, Prime Video, / IMDb / Twitch / Amazon Music / MGM. Advertising. Yeah, Amazon does a lot of advertising on Amazon, like shopping, and also like IMDb and all their other smaller websites that they own. I couldn't think of it. Healthcare, they own like One Health or some shit, which is crazy. Kindle / Audible, Ring, Alexa. Yeah, it's crazy. If your customer experiences aren't planning to leverage those intelligent models, their ability to query giant corpuses of data and quickly find your needle in the haystack, their ability to keep getting smarter with more feedback and data, and their future agentic capabilities, you'll not be competitive. Yeah. I mean, I guess it seems like this is kind of just a general expectation now. I guess it's nothing like crazy new. Well, he didn't mention tariffs in his letter. Jassy said in an interview on CNBC Thursday that Amazon will do everything it can to keep prices low, but expects sellers to pass on cost increases to consumers. I mean, yeah, a lot like Amazon doesn't really have much control over like what its sellers do. They're not directly setting prices, so unless it's like Amazon Basics, I guess, or they own them. Amazon bought some inventory in advance of President Trump's tariffs and the reciprocal levies put in place by places like China and renegotiated the terms of deals with some suppliers, Jassy said. Trump on Wednesday announced a 90-day pause on some tariffs and said that China levies would increase to 125%. Jassy said the company is in touch with the White House and has discussed concerns related to tariffs. I'm sure every CEO is like courting Trump now, just being like, come on, dude. Like, give us a break. Wall Street Journal reported Wednesday that Amazon canceled some vendors' orders from China after tariffs were announced. Amazon's early AI workloads focus on productivity and cost cutting that can save the company money, Jassy said in a letter. He anticipates that some of the biggest AI-related shifts may not happen in the next year or two, but won't take another decade to materialize. Yeah. I mean, I agree with this. Like, it's definitely just a more pragmatic take versus the accelerationist type mindset that thinks that we're going to have AGI in like a few years. I guess publicly available AGI. It's moving faster than almost anything technology has ever seen. AI won't be as expensive in the future as it is today due to advancements in chips, such as Amazon's homegrown Trainium chips, Jassy said, as he also used AI as an example of the type of breakthrough innovation that requires employees to collaborate in person whenever possible rather than work remotely. Of course. Amazon is a big back to office. And I feel like they recently kind of said something. Amazon's 350,000 corporate employees were required to return to the office 5 days a week starting in January. Yep. Yeah. I mean, Amazon will do fine. Like, they'll survive. But I don't know, I guess it's nothing we haven't heard already. But we haven't heard already. All right. OpenAI files countersuit against Elon Musk's bad faith attacks. Look at Twitter. Yeah, so I mean, like, I definitely agree. Like, I don't. Elon Musk is just being a fucker. Like, let's be real. Like, he's just being a fucking asshole. Regardless of if you agree with either side, it's like you can't deny that, like, Elon Musk is just doing this to be annoying, especially considering he has a competitor to OpenAI. Like, you know, he like, there's no reason why he shouldn't be doing this, especially considering his money and resources. Like, it's like, it's kind of crazy. So I mean, you know, I'm no, like, you know, OpenAI like fan necessarily. Like, I definitely am on their side in terms of this case. Even though they are kind of flip-flopping, and, like, you know, it is weird what they're doing. It's just like, who cares? Honestly, I just let them be, and then fucking, you know. Okay, let's see what they said. Already a nonprofit, and already, okay, this is new commission to provide insight as OpenAI builds the world's best equipped nonprofit. And I mean, they're definitely going to keep pushing shit like this. This actually was not what I thought it was. It says Elon's nonstop actions against us are just bad faith tactics to slow down OpenAI. He's controlled the leading AI innovations for his personal benefit. Today we countersued to stop him. Yeah, because, like, even though the case was dropped, like, yeah, I guess it's kind of like, who's to say you can't, like, bring it back up in the future. It's like, bro, they're just like, just leave us alone so we can just move on. Like, I feel that. Spreading false information about us, we're actually getting ready to build the best equipped nonprofit the world's ever seen. We're not converting it away. Elon has never been about the mission. He's always had his agenda. He's tried to seize control of OpenAI and merge it with Tesla as a for-profit. His own emails prove it. When he didn't get his way, he stormed off. Elon's suddenly one of the greatest entrepreneurs over time, but these tactics are just history on repeat. Elon being all about Elon. Straight up. And he's like, they're like, here's the emails for proof. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Oh. Okay. Bro, these, like, I just don't get, like, these look fake. And, like, they were at CES a few months ago and the fucking robot couldn't do anything. We watched the video. And, like, we might look at this later. The CEO of the heavily funded humanoid robot figure is exaggerating Star's work with BMW. Wall Street Journal also did a hit piece on them too, saying that, like, they're essentially they're overstating what the actual market could be in the timeline that they say. We might look at this later, but anyways. Let's look TechCrunch. OpenAI Countersues Elon Musk calls for enjoyment, not enjoyment. from further unlawful, unfair action. The dramatic tiff between OpenAI and its estranged co-founder, billionaire Elon Musk, shows no sight of letting up. In a filing on Wednesday, attorneys for OpenAI and other defendants in the case, including CEO Sam Altman, called for Musk to be enjoined from further unlawful and unfair action and held responsible for the damage he has already caused to the defendants. OpenAI is resilient, reads the filing for a counter lawsuit, but Musk's actions have taken a toll. Should his campaign persist, greater harm is threatened to OpenAI's ability to govern in service of its mission, to the relationship that are essential to furthering that mission and the public interest. Musk continue to attack OpenAI, accumulating the most recently in a fake takeover bid designed to disrupt OpenAI's future. Must cease. Yeah, and I do wonder if this is like I wonder legally how the OpenAI operates, or how the nonprofit operates from the for-profit. Like, is this does it matter which sues which? Like, is the nonprofit officially suing Elon Musk? Or is it the for-profit, and does that matter? In an emailed statement, Mark Toberoff, an attorney for Musk, said, "Had OpenAI's board genuinely considered Musk's bid for the company's nonprofit earlier this year, as they were obligated to do, they would have seen how serious it was." No. We'll finish this. It's telling that having to pay market value for OpenAI's. It's telling that having to pay fair market value for OpenAI's assets allegedly interferes with their business plans. Yes, the problem is they're not for sale. That's like someone going to your house and be like, "Hey, I'll buy this house for $700,000," and then you're like, "I'm alright." They're like, "It's above market value." Like, it's like, dude, it's not for sale. Like, it doesn't matter what the price is. It's like, it's not for sale. Musk's suit against OpenAI accuses the startup of abandoning its nonprofit mission, which aimed to ensure its AI research benefits all of humanity. OpenAI was founded as a nonprofit in 2015, but it converted to a capped profit structure in 2019, and now its management is trying to restructure it once more into a public benefit corporation. Yeah, Anthropic is a public benefit corporation, I'm pretty sure. Anthropic. Anthropic is a public benefit corporation whose purpose is the responsible development and maintenance of advanced AI. Yeah. I mean, at least they're going for this and not just like a normal one. I don't know. I don't really know. This is probably like doesn't even matter though, really. Musk had sought a preliminary injunction to halt OpenAI's transition to a for-profit corporation. In March, a federal judge denied the request, but permitted the case to go to a jury trial in spring 2026. Bro, spring of next year? That's crazy. Musk, once a key supporter of OpenAI, is now perhaps its greatest adversary. The stakes are high for OpenAI, which reportedly needs to complete its for-profit conversion by 2025 to relinquish some capital as raised in recent months. Yes, SoftBank has said that by the end of 2025, they need to convert to a for-profit in order to get their full $40 billion. I think they only got $10 billion right now. And they need money, so like they really need this. A group of organizations, including nonprofits and labor groups like California Teamsters, petitioned California Attorney General Rob Bonta this week to stop OpenAI from becoming a for-profit entity. Holy shit, everyone's against him, the OpenAI. They claim the company has failed to protect its charitable assets and is actively subverting its charitable mission to advance safe artificial intelligence. I mean, yeah, they are. I don't know. I think it's kind of just like, I don't think it's going to change much, I guess. I actually think it'll probably, okay, like, I think it might even be better because now they don't have to, like, role play, like grift, essentially. Like, I'm sure the nonprofit, they'll put someone in charge, they'll give them some money, and then they'll go actually do stuff, probably, you know? Now, and like, they'll probably go more towards like whatever mission they create for the nonprofit once it's like fully transitioned. Like, I don't know. I don't think they're just gonna like not do that. I think they'll still at least like give it some money. Encode, a nonprofit organization that co-sponsored California's ill-fated SB 1047 AI safety legislation, voiced similar concerns in an amicus brief filed in December. Okay, I mean, I don't know. This is like doesn't really add anything, I guess. OpenAI has said that its conversion would preserve its nonprofit arm and infuse it with resources to be spent on charitable initiatives in sectors such as healthcare, education, and science. We're actually getting ready to build the best equipped nonprofit the world has ever seen. We're not converting it away. That's what we read them saying. I mean, like, yeah, like theoretically, sure, but I think a nonprofit should be judged on its execution, not necessarily like how much money it has, because like that doesn't matter. Company wrote in a series of posts on X on Wednesday, Elon's never been about the mission, he's always had his own agenda. Dang. This story is updated from comments from Musk attorney. Yeah, this saga is just like wasting each other's like time and money. I mean, I know Elon Musk might have money to waste, but OpenAI definitely doesn't. They want this to be over. Okay, I need to turn AC on. I'll be right back. Warm. Showing 78 right now in the office. Okay, let's look at the Facebook whistleblower. Meta's been like, I don't really know what's going on with Zuck. He's having like a midlife crisis. I feel like he's trying too hard to like play both teams. Even though he's like definitely supporting Trump, but just like he was, you know, like I feel like he's playing too hard to like be cool and like play both teams, and it's kind of like showing, I guess. Like it's like, dude, make up your mind. Like you keep flip flop, you know, like you're doing this thing, but then like I guess it just seems like they've switched so much to this like free speech-esque type Trump era stuff that it's just like, it's kind of like weird that they're trying so hard to be like, to like garner Trump's approval, or at least like that, the like conservative free speech type of area. Like they're trying so hard now. And it's like, okay, dude, like just relax. Bro, what are these pictures like? Because this is, we covered Llama 4 the other day, the new AI models, but and like I get this, but it's just like yeah. Is this like the best resources being spent? I don't know. I don't think we're gonna read this, but just interesting. Okay, former Facebook executive tells Senate committee company undermined U.S. national security with China. It was yesterday. Former Facebook executive Sarah Wynne Williams testified before Senate Judiciary Committee Wednesday, accusing the social media company of undermining national security and briefing China on U.S. artificial intelligence efforts in order to grow its business there. Yes, okay, it's like, so they were willing to throw the U.S. under the bus to grow their business. This is, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but I'm surprised this actually, I don't know if this has happened more, but like, it seems like this could happen more. Especially as the these like megacorps are kind of surpassing any care for the law. Like, you know, we could, I mean, I know the EU is like different because they have like the strictest regulations, but like, bro, Meta, like every week it seems like there's a $100 million plus $1 billion plus fine to big tech, but it's like they just don't care to follow the rules. But even even in the US, like, you know, they're fine, there's lawsuits, all this kind of stuff. They don't really care. Like, they're their own, like, sovereign state in a way. Like, they have their own rules that you need to work there. They have benefits. Like, it's like they're kind of getting to the point where it's like they're playing geopolitics. Like, they're literally like their own country in a way, which is how much power they have and how much freedom they have. So, like, the fact that they're doing this, like, it's crazy, but, like, I don't know. I don't even know if it's that surprising considering, like, what their motivations are, i.e. to make as much money as possible. We are engaged in high-stakes AI arm race against China, and during my time at Meta, company executives lied about what they were doing with the Chinese Communist Party to employees, shareholders, Congress, and the American public, Wynne Williams said in a prepared testimony. Her book, Careless People, an explosive insider account of her time at the social media giant, sold 60,000 copies in the first week and reached number 10 on Amazon's bestseller list, amid efforts by Meta to discredit the work and stop her from talking about her experience at the company. Meta used a campaign of threats and intimidation to silence the former executive, said Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, during the hearing. And that's like, you know, you would think that, like, she would be incentivized to say this because she's selling a book, but the fact that Meta is trying to silence her, like, you know, it's like, make it seem like that, you know, at least some of what she says is, like, has some truth behind it. Besides, you know, obviously she has first-hand experience, but still. Wynne Williams served as director of global public policy at Facebook. Oh, bro, she was fucking, yeah, bro, she was way up there. And the fact that she's, like, worked at the global public policy makes me, you know, definitely believe it more. At Facebook, now Meta, from 2011 until she was fired in 2017. Although, I mean, this is way before the, like, this is just when the paper was released that was, allowed us to create, like, generative AI LLMs in the modern way we know them. So I wonder what, like, when they talk to China. Throughout those 7 years, I saw Meta executives repeatedly undermine U.S. national security and betray American values. They did these things in secret to win favor with Beijing and build an $18 billion business in China, she said in her prepared remarks. Wynne Williams also said Meta deleted the Facebook account of a prominent Chinese descendant living in the U.S., bowing to pressure from China to do so. Dang. But, like, bro, this is why Europe doesn't trust American tech, you know, like the American tech industry. Meta says that account belonging to billionaire Guo Wenjai, butchered the name, shared personally identifiable information such as the people's passport numbers and social security numbers, national ID numbers, and home address, and was removed because this violated Facebook's rules. So what do you like? Was he like doxing people or something? Defrauding followers? When was this? 2014. Dang. But this doesn't give them the right. I guess, like, if trying to ask them to ban them, like, this is just like their way. But the fact that he's in court is interesting. Like, it makes it seem like it's a little different. But and she said Meta ignored warnings that building a physical pipeline between the US and China would provide China with backdoor access to user data. Bro, speaking of China, is like, in a secret meeting, Chinese officials acknowledged Beijing was behind alarming cyber attacks on US infrastructure. Nice. So now China's, like, openly admitting doing cyber attacks on America, especially our infrastructure. Anyways, these plans, called the Pacific Light Cable Network, never materialized, but Wynne Williams said that was only because lawmakers stepped in. Meta's still making a global. They're still making a thing. They're still making a global like cable network. Meta. It's literally going around the world. It's going from like United States. Uh, yeah, yeah, literally United States down under. Uh, the United States, Australia to India, down Africa, and then back to the United States, like literally across the world. The W cable. So they're still doing it, but I guess it's not directly to China, not as through India, which is. In a statement, Meta said, "What? Actually, I wonder. Like, is Facebook popular in China? Like, do they still are they there still?" In a statement, Meta said, "Win Williams' testimony is divorced from reality and riddled with false claims. While Mark Zuckerberg himself was public about our interest in offering our services in China, and details were widely reported beginning over a decade ago. Fact is, we do not separate our services in China today." Zuckerberg, along with other big tech executives, have been trying to improve their standing with President Donald Trump's administration in recent months. Through visits to Mar-a-Lago and the White House, as well as monetary donations, it is not yet clear if the efforts are paying off. Yeah. Definitely not clear. We'll see if the Zuckerberg was meeting with Trump to try and not get them to file an antitrust lawsuit this like in the coming months, but like Trump administration still hates big tech. Like they're still not like friendly to them. Like overall, I guess. This is a man who wears many different costumes, when Williams said of Zuckerberg. When I was there, he wanted the president of China to name his first child. He was learning Mandarin. He was censoring to his heart's content. Now his new costume is MMA fighting or free speech. We don't know what the next costume is going to be, but it'll be something different. It's whatever gets him closest to power. Yep, I think I agree with this, and that's kind of my take in the beginning, where it's like he keeps flip-flopping and just going down to whatever's popular. It's like he's trying way too hard, dude. Like it's like obviously fake. And we know that we've read the emails between Zuckerberg and Peter Thiel and like shit and co about him trying to actually like be cool, like a cool millennial, to relate more with the generation. Like it's so fake. It's crazy. The hearing comes just days before Meta's massive antitrust trial is scheduled to begin. Federal Trade Commission. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was. So their trial's already going. So I guess that's what they're probably courting. That's what I was talking about. Federal Trade Commission case against the tech giant could force the company to divest Instagram and WhatsApp. That would be insane. Them selling Instagram. WhatsApp, WhatsApp is still huge. Like it's just not as big in America. Like arguably this might be bigger than Instagram, but still Instagram they've had it from the beginning. Crazy times. Especially big tech. Okay. I have 2 videos, and then we'll take a look at a report. I might do a different, covers a different stream, but I kind of want to look into this because I think humanoid robotics is kind of in tandem with AI, like growing in tandem, but it's still much further out. And I'm very hopeful for humanoid robotics in the house, like as a consumer. I think it'd be cool to have. All right. So I don't know if this is a new game by Deep Rock Galactic or if it's a DLC. It looks like it's a new game. But it looks exactly like Deep Rock Galactic. 1 to 4 player co-op FPS action roguelike featuring. Yeah, alien hordes procedurally generated caves, join elite dwarven reclaimers, and fight through the. Like, how's this any different than Deep Rock Galactic? Okay, let's just watch the trailer, I guess. Is this just like Deep Rock Galactic 2? Like, I don't really get it. Just like Deep Rock Galactic. Is this one more like a roguelike? Okay. Closed alpha. So 1 to 4 player co-op action roguelike featuring sci-fi doors. I don't know, it definitely seems very similar. It seems like maybe this is a roguelike and that's that. Alright, I'll try and join the alpha. Oh, here we go. How is DRG Rogue Core different from Deep Rock Galactic? The main difference is the roguelike game architecture. God, okay. Does it seem like there's like some stuff in the trailer where they're like getting like perks and shit like in game, like as they're playing, so like you kind of progress in game, whereas it seems like old Deep Rock was like drop down, do your shit, you know, pick your loadout, drop down, do your shit, then leave. Like the looter shooter. In short, this means that you start each mission with only the most basic equipment and you collect random upgrades, gear, and abilities as you go. Makes for lots of variety in your build and the potential for extremely powerful upgrades and synergies. Then I wonder if it's like there's like boss fights and shit, like kind of like normal roguelike or typical. In Rogue Core, the difficulty will also increase drastically as you progress in a mission, contrary to Deep Rock Galactic, where the difficulty is more consistent from mission start. Sweet. Yeah, it seems cool then. If it's like a roguelike now. Kind of like Risk of Rain, I guess. Sounds fun, yeah. Looks neat. I honestly clicked on this trailer because I like these people's logo, Micropose. It's like it's like a classic like like throwback logo. Got T-Jose. Like it's like Warhammer, like Total War Warhammer, or just Total War in general. Dang. This is more like a strategy of like. Oh, so I wonder if this is like an auto battler, like a Mechabellum. But it's like very much about the like strategy of your units. Seems like that's like the only thing. Warriors. Interesting. It just seems like it's there's not that much there because it's like just fighting like this. I guess if that's the entire game. Strategos. Hope they haven't made anything. Oh, I don't want that. Micropose. What else have they published / done? They've actually done a lot. Fall. Open Wheel Manager. Exfil. What about war games? Oh, they published Mech Engineer. This one is on our wish list. Looks interesting. Pink Tycoon. Alright, they've honestly just published a shit ton. Oh, they published High Fleet? Oh, that game was cool. Carrier Command. I haven't played this, but this one's on my wish list. A lot of war games. Cool. Cool. Alright, let's look at let's take a look at the Stanford 2025 AI Index Report. Also want to oh, mouse just I need to get a screenshot here. Policymakers use AI index to inform their decisions. Interesting. Yeah, we like back when I first started streaming, I think we took a look at one of these. Yeah, okay. We're not going to look at the entire thing. It's 456 pages long. So we're not going to look at the whole thing, but we're going to look at the key takeaways, and then we'll look at the economy, and then potentially science and medicine, and then policy and governance. So I think these are, and probably public opinion, but these are kind of the interesting ones. Not saying responsible AI is boring, but like kind of been hounded a bit, you know. So okay, but I need to let me just get a screenshot that I could upload to YouTube. And we'll jump into it. Video 3 minutes long. I wonder if this works. I'm gonna right here, actually I could just go like this. I'm gonna end on YouTube, but I'm gonna start it right back up. Be right back on YouTube.